think earlier you mentioned something that about putting some people on while you were locked up.
Yeah.
Okay. Talk to me about the whole recruiting process and how you try to grow in numbers.
Well, man, I mean, back then, man, again, we had no clue, and a couple of guys, like I mentioned, that was from two particular crib sets, man, really introduced that lifestyle of being put on. So we just followed suit, man. Those couple of guys put on a few guys themselves. And for myself, it's initiation. I mean, you understand initiation, man. So that's how they went, We didn't have a particular place really in prison because prison is so open, so you might have to fall in the bathroom or in a single cell or something, and put a cat on. So.
Now I know when you mentioned when you first got locked up that, Crips and Bloods were a new thing. Fast forward to 1997, was it more prevalent behind bars? Like, did the numbers grow drastically?
Yeah, they started to grow. By the time that I was on my way out, it started to grow. The difference is Los Angeles, man, California, when you're dealing with prisons, it's a street gang that, get locked up. Gangs members will get locked up for doing whatever, gang banging or whatever. It's a totally difference in Tennessee. Since we didn't have gangs on the street initially, a lot of the gangs were formed in prison until enough of them were able to come out, get out, and then start to initiate. So the process was totally different.
Okay. Want to go in another direction a little bit, but how important, especially at that time when you were coming up building and things like that, how important was it or is it to touch base with the land, the quote unquote land, for, people out there who don't know what I'm talking about, Los Angeles?
Yeah. Well, at the time I had lost contact with my OG homeboy from the county jail to the pen. So initially we didn't have a contact, but for the two older cats who were from Main Street and from 87 Kitchen and 87 Gangster, they kind of taught the lifestyle of cripping. Being from Hoover, nobody could really actually teach me how to groove, which is a difference. Teach me about the H, which we say, the H is number one. Hoover's number one, meaning it comes before cripping, because it was Hoover's before it was anything, before the crip was even put on it. So, at first we just had to kind of go with the flow, man. And then once I came home, I wanted all of that to change, because I was heavy in it, and I wanted to make sure we got the right education about it, the knowledge about the history of where we claim who the Hoovers were. From the 4-tray to the one-way, I needed to know. So that's how that happened, man. When I took the trip, called my family members and took my first trip to Los Angeles, man, I was on a mission, so I can bring that same knowledge back to Tennessee and spread the word, man.